Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a guide demo on how to make one of these sort of charms for junk journals. So I did do a basic video just sort of showing how to put these together, but I wanted to do a guided tutorial for you. Just to sort of show you in a bit more detail. So as you can see, this is one I made earlier, but these are the basic bits and pieces that you will need, and again it's just you know, bits and bobs. So I've got a little bit of cord. String will work as well, as long as it's sort of large enough but not too large to go through the holes of the different beads or buttons that you've got. And I've got an assortment of just cut-offs of ribbon that I thought was sort of the right sort of colour scheme, because all these beads I've got here are sort of quite pink in tone, and a pair of scissors. So that's all you need. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is just tie a knot in the end here, and I'm going to do this a couple of times because I want to make sure that all the beads that I put on here stay in place. Sometimes it's good to do sort of a little test of the beads, because obviously some beads are larger than others and have sort of different sizes. So of course we can see this one's sort of got a really large sort of hole on it, and this one's much smaller. So it's always good to sort of double check that. And of course, depending on if you're using cord or string, if you are using beads that have got really tiny little holes on them, then you could use cotton. That would work really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to try and thread some of these. Let's try this one. And again, we can see that because I've done this knot a few times, that won't come off. Okay, so just a few. I'm not sure if this one will go. Let's have a little go. Nope, maybe a little bit too small, that one. So have a look through all the different bits and pieces you've got. If you've got beads, buttons also work really well. And obviously you can do as many or as little as you like. I'm just going to get, so I've got like a little selection here. I try and do them in different sort of colours, so that I know, oh, you know, I've got white ones in here and pink ones in there. Just some that I think might work. So whenever you're sort of choosing something, go through and have a look at the different sort of colour themes, the different colours that you want to do. And obviously this is just kind of a really good way of using up odd buttons, odd beads, anything you've got left over from previous projects. Let's see if this one we're going to go through. Something else you can also do is, if you find that the end's getting a little bit frayed and you're struggling to get some of the things threaded, just snip off the end so you get a nice clean cut again. I'm going to get some more buttons out. Something else that's sort of quite good to do is, often, you know, you might find that you've got some buttons that, you know, sort of come off of something it becomes loose. So it's always worth keeping those buttons, because obviously you can use them for things like this. Okay, and I think I'm going to give this one another go, because I'm pretty sure I've done this same bead before. So I'm going to see if I can get this threaded. No. Let's have a look. If not, I'm going to go with the, let's do another button. It's always good to have sort of different assortments, so that if you do find that some don't quite want to work, then you've got some other options. And as I said, you can do just a couple, you can do as many or as little as you like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a knot, and as I make the knot, I'm just going to pull. Oh, let me bring this back up so I can show you that again. I want to try and get it as close to this as possible, so obviously I'm looping this round, pulling it through, and then I'm just going to pull, keeping my fingers there so that the knot is sort of as close as I can get it. So now they're not going to come off. Okay, so that's that done. And then what you can also do is just do like a little loop at the top. So because I've got quite a lot of excess left, I'm just going to do a little loop. I'm going to go around it a couple of times, and then with the loop at the bottom I've just made, I'm going to pull that through so that I've got a little loop like that. Okay, so that's that bit. And now I've got some just odd cut-offs here, so I'm just going to assemble these. They're all different lengths, slightly different sort of styles, and I'm just going to pop that on like that as well. Let me just pop that underneath that. So have a little play around with sort of what you like, what you think looks best. And you'll notice I'm just going to put this loop at the top. Oh, let me refasten that. Sometimes it can take a couple of tries with this, as you can see, but it's always worth experimenting, and the more of these you do, you'll find that it becomes easier. You'll find something that works for you. Okay, I'm going to pop this one over the top, so I'm leaving the loop at the top because I'm going to utilize that later, and I'm just going to pop that together like that. And then I've got another piece here which I'm going to use, and because this is slightly different, because all of this ribbon is quite sort of sheer and shiny, so this is sort of more of a matte firmer texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to just tie these together. So I've just gathered them, I've got a slight overhang at the top as you can see, and I'm just going to pull that together and tighten it like so. Right, and once you've done that, I'm going to make a bow. Okay, like so, and that is the basis for making a junk journal charm out of odd bits and pieces. As I said, odd leftover buttons, beads, bits of ribbon, and then just gather them all together at the top, tie with a bow, and you've got something which you can add on to a junk journal. So let me take this one off. Now this is from another tutorial demo. I'll pop the link at the bottom in the description, so if you want to see this one being made. You can see a lot of my junk journals I use elastic bands to join signatures of sort of pages and little booklets and stuff. So these are brilliant for attaching these. So obviously if you've got elastic bands, you can just sit it through like that if you want to, or the other thing you can do is you can also let me just take this off, join it with another sort of piece of string, of course depending on what type of junk journal sort of binding spine you've got, you can always use another bit of ribbon just to sort of tie it through, in the same way as when you gather everything together. Okay, so again, very, very basic, very simple, just to use up bits and pieces you've got to make something a little bit different, a little bit jazzy. You can do them in different colour themes, as I've said. So if you've got a collection of ribbons, cords, buttons, beads, anything at all that you can thread or tie together, if you've got them in various different colours, you can make these in any colours you like to match the junk journals that you have made. So I hope you found that helpful. Please do like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you're new, lovely to have you here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon for my next video.